This is a tutorial on how to create a page for Joe Fowler for his monthly SEO. Joe Fowler's website is USDAFloridaLoans.com, and today we're going to be making a page that looks just like this one, with maybe one or two small changes. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to start out, I'm going to send you an article, and that article is going to look just like this when you grab it. And we're going to go to his website and go down to the bottom and click on Login, and it's going to open up the Admin Center. When you go to the admin, you're going to click on X Site up here, and then My Content, and you're going to go to the Custom Pages, and you're going to click Add New Page. Now, I will have given you a keyword by now that you're going to be using for this month, or maybe a couple of different keywords, and that's important to have. In this case, we're going to be using USDA Loan and USDA Loan Program, and maybe one more. I think USDA Direct Loan is another one. So you want to know what those are. So you'll have those right there. Now, after I've opened up a blank page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the Provided tab, and I'm going to open up the home page. The home page on Joe Fowler is the basis for all of his pages. So go ahead and open that up, click the little HTML less than greater than symbol down here, and copy out this whole code. Then go back to your blank page. Oops, not this one. This one. Click the less than greater than and go ahead and paste your code in, and then go back to the pencil. Once you've done that, you're going to have your template laid out for your page. And what we're going to do is I'm going to start out by deleting the information in here. We don't need this, and so we just want to use it as a blank template. We'll leave this part in here because this is where they're going to apply afterwards. So we're going to go back to our article, and I'm going to go ahead and copy it. And then I'm going to start by pasting it right in here. And there it is. Okay, so first off, I'm going to go ahead and clean the article up real quick. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to change it to an Arial size 2. I'm going to lessen the space between all of these by just going to the end of each sentence right here, delete, 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 and then enter down one line. Okay. Now we're going to change the header to just be only the keyword that we want it to be. It can start out with that. I can begin with it. We want it to start with it preferably. And then we're going to give it just a little basic title, How to Get a USDA Loan, or what are they? There you go. Now, next we're going to put USDA Loan as the first word and the last word. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this here and bold it out. So you can highlight it and hit Control B on your keyboard, or you can hit the bold key up here. And then I'm going to put it as my last one. Now I'm going to revise these sentences to, oops, I didn't copy that right. I'm going to revise this a little bit when I get down to here so that it will actually end with the sentence that ends. It's very important that the first word and the last word are the big keyword. Alright, so now we're going to go through and we're going to read this. When we read it, we want to make sure we have the USDA Loan keyword along with USDA Loan Program, USDA Direct Loan into the body of this paragraph several times. And wherever you see USDA Loan, you can just run through real quick and highlight it so that, and this one obviously stands out so it's easy to see. So start out by going in and just bolding all of your keywords. I found a spelling mistake where they just put USA Loan Program, so we want to fix that. And since USDA Loan Program, I believe, is one of our keywords, we want to bold the whole thing. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through here and we're going to make sure that the keyword is as many times as we can get it without it looking like it's too much, but we also want to make sure that those keywords, USDA Loan, USDA Loan Program, and USDA Direct Loan. So we're going to add those in here, and I'm going to try to use the ones that are already in here and just expound upon them. So reading the sentences, if other financing agencies have turned you down, then the USDA Loan Program, notice how I started right after the word A and it bolded it, is the place to go. One of the most prominent features of the USDA loan is that qualified applicants can purchase a house without any down payment. Whereas Federal Housing Authority loans and other conventional loans require a down payment, the USDA Direct Loan does not. We're going to go ahead and just shorten that up. Sometimes these articles are written by somebody whose first language isn't English, and you want to make sure that they read correctly, so it's important to read this and make sure that you fix any spelling errors or English errors. It finances 100% of the cost, including closing costs. It offers the lowest rates and has fixed interest rates. Another feature worth considering is that the USDA loan has a relaxed credit guideline and does not set a limit to your loan amount. In order to qualify for the USDA Loan Program, see how I was able to fit this in here? And remember, it doesn't have to read perfectly where the keywords are, but it should read well, but not perfectly. So in order to qualify for the USDA Loan Program, the buyer must meet 4 criteria: a good credit record, a 2-year employment, has no current USDA loan, and the house must be located in one of the designated locations. Loan applicants should have a good credit history. If there are unpaid bills in the past, make sure that in the last 12 months at least your bills have been paid on time. The second criteria of a USDA loan is proof of income. Prospective homebuyers should have had a job or a consistent income for at least 2 years before applying. This criteria, however, does not apply to students. Although assets, okay, we're going to make that lower, are not required to get the application approved, these may mitigate any flaws on the credit record. Location is also taken into consideration for the USDA Loan Program. To qualify, the home to be purchased must be located in an assigned USDA rural area. This is to help smaller communities in the rural areas flourish by making real estate more affordable. The last criterion pertains to owning additional property. As of now, the USDA does not allow homebuyers to purchase another adequate home using a USDA Direct Loan. Let's just change that one. There are circumstances, however, when the USDA does allow you to keep your other home. Mobile or manufactured homes, for example, are not seen as adequate property. Another is if the home you are currently occupying is not enough to house the size of your family, or if you have to relocate. The USDA Loan Program is the real deal. It offers the best rates coupled with flexible credit guidelines, making home buying more affordable for those who can hardly afford we have to rewrite this now. Alright, just go ahead and try to make it flow. Go ahead, buy the home of your dreams with the most affordable housing loan program in the country. Getting a USDA loan is easy with Joe Fowler, one of USDA's certified experts. Joe will help you navigate the process of obtaining a USDA Direct Loan and make sure that your home buying experience goes smoothly. He puts your needs first, ensuring that you understand the necessary points of the process. Joe can provide, we're going to want to make sure this is flowing, can provide insights in crucial decisions honed by years of experience in the profession. The USDA loan program gives the best deal in housing loans in the country period. You can qualify for the house of your dreams with Joe Fowler by using the USDA loan application quick below. So that's close enough. Alright, now there's a little bit of USDA loans bolded out here. I'm going to go ahead and remove those. I don't want Florida bolded out. I just want it to say USDA loan. So I'm going to remove that. I'm going to make sure that this is a header, and when I highlight it, it's not. It says normal, so we're going to change that to a heading 3. Actually, this should be a heading 2. We want to make sure that's, or actually a heading 1. The first one at the top should be a heading 1. So we'll go ahead and change that to green and Arial. And then we'll change this to Arial and green and a heading 2. Oop. Redo that. Arial 5, that's right, green. Okay. Now let's see. Now, okay. A couple of things. First, we want to make sure we have a link to one of the other pages in here in the body of the text if we can. So I'm going to go ahead and take FHA loans, come up here to custom links, hit the plus, and click on FHA loans. And now I am going to insert a picture in here. I may give you pictures if you don't have any. You can go and get some off of my Big Stock photo link, or you can get one off of other places that I have that I'll give you ahead of time. And in this case, I'm just going to find a picture of a family with a house. Very important to take and make a new photo. I'm going to go ahead and make a new one, and it's going to be 500 by 300. You can choose whatever you want. I'm going to make this one 515 by 404. I'm going to copy it and paste it right in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and center it, make it right. And I'm going to name it after the keyword as a ping. And save it right in his folder. Now I'm going to go ahead and open that back up, and I'm going to insert it by clicking on the image manager here, uploading the image. I may want to find another one as well if I have any more. Sometimes it's good to have a couple. So I'll go ahead and grab that one, and that one. Upload, each one named after my 3 keywords. I'll start with the USDA loan. Make sure it's the right one. Insert. Now once I've inserted it, I have to edit it. So I'm going to right click and choose, see how I did that again, right click, choose Set Image Properties. I want it to have a border of 1. I want it to be named USDA Loan and the description the same. I'm going to left align it and give it a 10 horizontal, 10. I usually get lazy with this, so I just type 11. It's faster. And I'm going to go ahead and make it vertical or width 300, and I'm going to constrain and hit OK. That makes it smaller, gives it some spacing around it, makes it look nice and neat. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and add one of my other images. USDA Loan Program. There it is. Insert. I'm going to go ahead and put that one as a 1. USDA Loan Program. And you will find these images in the image manager here as well, so you can use them. You can come to this page, resave them as your own, as a different keyword, and still again make them. Now, let's say I want to have a little more space. I can just click and drag this and move it up here if I want. And I can move this one maybe right here to just give myself a little more room. And then maybe I want to put the last one here. And 1 USDA direct loan. Image aligned to the left. Put my little 11s in there and hit OK. So there I've got a couple of graphics in there, and they each have the keyword embedded in them. Now, I want to make sure all the other graphics have the right keywords, so I'm going to go ahead and set image properties on these. Make sure they have proper keywords. This one can just be the USDA loan on Facebook. Oops. Copy. These ones don't need spacing, so you don't have to do that. Now I'm going to do loan program. Just throwing in a couple extras. VA and FHA don't touch. Meet the team, we can change that one. USDA direct loan. Remember, USDA loan is our primary, so we want to use that one more. So we'll make sure. I already have a lot of those in there, so we'll get one more to the loan program. And we'll do this one direct. And we'll make sure that the header is the main one. And that looks like all of them. So we're good to go. Alright, so this looks good. I have all the information in there. There's one last thing. I got to get rid of this right here. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and toggle this out of full screen mode. We're going to go down to the less than greater than symbol. We're going to go down to the end. I'm just basically coming all the way down to the end. And I'm going to highlight right after the word body. And I'm going to go all the way up to this div class RSS box right here and delete all that, backspace, and then I'm good. I have everything that I need to have. So, alright, so this is all done. I'm going to search. I'm looking, it says USDA Loan Florida here. I'm going to go ahead and do a find and replace for this. So I'm going to, oops, back down to the bottom. Okay. Definitely don't want it to say USDA Loan Florida. There it is. There it is, right there. So I'm going to copy that. Just do a real quick find and replace. Control F will bring up the find and replace. I'm going to paste that in there and just delete the Florida. And I'm going to replace all. There was only one. That's good. Okay, we're good. Now lastly, we're going to go ahead and put in our meta tags, and you're going to put in your 3 keywords. So I'm going to grab those. And keywords here, same thing. Actually went ahead and looked up a couple more, so I have a few more than these that I looked up. In your case, you don't have to do that, but if you want to go a little bit further, you can go to Google AdWords keyword tool and look up some extra ones. And then I also made a very quick description, and you can copy this exact description. Just go back and open this page later and use the same description, and you can put all of the information right in here that you have. And I am using a sentence that has all three keywords, this one, and this one. So actually I'm going to delete the USDA right there. Don't use all capital letters throughout this. It needs to read like a sentence. Google doesn't like it when you use a lot of caps. So the fact that I have USDA in caps here is, you know, a lot, and we don't want to cause too much problems with this. We want to make sure that we keep things lowercase when possible. So I'm going to go ahead and make that a D, and let's go ahead and make that an L, make that a P. And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and check these three boxes, and I'm going to hit save and continue. Now, important, if you have to make a change after this, you've got to go back down to the bottom and delete this extra code again. So just notice that I didn't name my page up here. I want to go ahead and name it. I'm going to come back down to the footer real quick and put my click right before the body tag, and I'm just going to delete right up to here. And I'm going to go ahead and save and continue. It's giving me an error saying there's another page named this, so I'm going to go back to my editor, my admin, and there is another page. I already changed it, but let's go ahead. The easiest way is to click out and click back in. Go back to my content and custom, and it is still there. So I'm going to open that page up because I just made that today for your example. And I'm going to give it a different name. If you do find that there's another page that was made that you didn't make, this one I had made as a sample for you, so that's why it's interfering, because normally I wouldn't have had this page. It would have been fine. But if you do find another page, then name it something different, but use USDA loan as the first word. So I'm going to go ahead and save and close that. Now it should update here. If it doesn't, I'll click out. Go back to my content, custom, and it did rename itself perfect. So now I can go ahead and do this. Make sure I come back down here. Control End will bring me back down to the bottom. Let's go ahead and delete that again. Tricky code. And save and continue. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go and check our work. And if we did it right, this should be your page. This was the one I made before. So you can see it's not the one we made because it doesn't have the photos. So I'm going to do a Control F5 and refresh it. You may get an error from time to time, but just go ahead and refresh again. Or go to the home page, come down here, and your page should be in here. If it's not, actually, go back to your admin panel and to custom, look for it. Let's click out of here, click back. And it's not showing up. So I am going to go ahead and move on to this page. I'm going to click out, try this one more time. You should not have this issue because you didn't have a page that was already named the same. But just in case, it's good to know this information. And it's still not there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a new page. I'm just going to copy everything the same right over. sure I delete those little tags. I'm just copying and pasting. And that time it worked. So it just didn't like this new page for some reason. So I'm going to close that. And I'm going to come here, and there's my page. Check the box next to it. That's very important. And hit save. Now I'm back at the home page. I'm just going to refresh it. And there's my page right there. Click on it. And there we are. And you can see the page, it looks nice and neat. There's no extra code down here. Everything looks correct. And so we're good to go. So you're going to go ahead and go to this page, and you're going to go into YourSiteNeedsMe at Gmail, into the Google Doc for this. You should already have a document for this, and you're going to go ahead and add it in here, and I'll go ahead and you'll have more information on this later. So that's how you add a page for Joe Fowler.